Hello there, my name is Valerie White Williams and I'm a voice teacher and a vocal coach for Vocal Splendor Studios. Today I'm doing another reaction video, and this time is this video that I found that I've never heard of before, and I'm super excited to share it with you, and I'm super excited to react to it. It is Luciano Pavarotti and James Brown performing together. It's a Man's World. Let's have a listen.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl.
Okay, I'm gonna stop just a minute. When I found this, I was like, what? I didn't even know this existed. And I just want to let you know, Luciano Pavarotti is one of probably the most well-known singers. Back when opera singers actually were celebrities, because it hasn't been happening right now. And James Brown was a huge influence on Michael Jackson. And so it's interesting to see them. They both have these tenor voices and faces. So this is going to be really fun.
Man made the car. To take us over the road. Man made the train. Carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolytes. To take us out of the dark. And man made the boat for the water. Like my Bible said, Noah made the ark.
Interesting. And now the thing about James, I'm just blown away by this huge orchestra. I don't know if it was a concert that Luciano Pavarotti was doing. He brought in James Brown. But the thing about James Brown, I mean, he was like really moving and dancing in a lot of his career, but he has this phrasing that is just what I call the negative space. The back phrasing and the this and late, so lots of the improvisation in his approach, which is really different than what opera singers do. They tend to not improvise on that level, and they're more of a bold, full tone. But this, like I said, really, really interesting.
This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing about a woman or a girl.
L'uomo rincorre il potere, ma lui non sa. E il grande limite ad essere come si parla. Nel palmo stringe un'idea che non vive, che nella sua fantasia corre, se non si accorge che poi.
Can I stop just a minute? This is just so interesting. I'm going to say this over and over again. So we have the, the orchestra, then we have the backing vocalists, and they're singing "It's a Man's World," very much like you would think in a rock concert. And then Pavarotti is sitting there on his stool, and he's singing. I do not know Italian good enough to translate it, so I don't know if it's an Italian version of this lyric, but all the things, his mouth is barely moving because everything is from below. Really connected. So it's really interesting. It's kind of a lot of different emphasis and musical styles in this performance. Yeah, these guys really obviously respect each other. This is something I never expected. So again, I'm going to just share like Pavarotti, everything is stretched out and all the sounds is like this. It's very legato. That's what we call connected. And with James Brown, we have not connected. Not that he's not connected, but it's I'm gonna I. A lot more syncopation, a lot more negative space, a lot more seen on the backside of the beats. But it's working. It's definitely working.
Man thinks about a little bit of baby girls and a baby boy. Man make them happy because man make them toys. But after man make everything he can. Man make lira, pesos, dollars, rubles, and buy from every good woman and every man. Ow! This is a man's world. But when we he's lost in the wilderness.
Ooh, good background
He's
singers.
lost
E non si accorge che poi non l'ha più senza te. Ci vive solo per sé. Solo per sé.
Yeah, it's like sweet and salty. Pavarotti is a sweet. James Brown is a salty, and he's got that loud, it's the screams. And when we call the back phrasing, we count 1, so it's on the end of the beat, very syncopated. And then Pavarotti stretching things out. Looks like everybody's having a blast here. This is just not, I've never seen this before. It's super exciting. And those session singers, spot on. They're having a great time too.
Solo per sé.
This is a man's world.
Look at all those people.
Thank you. Gracias.
Grazie.
I feel good.
That was fun. And you know, the thing is, I really like to see what happens to performers, not only after they're done singing, but afterwards, because that's part of the other thing, you know, taking curtain calls, bowing together, walking off the stage. I didn't know what was coming, but it was really fun as, you know, how did it feel to sing with Pavarotti? He goes, I feel good. You know, it's a classic song, I feel good, and I knew that I would. Yeah, two iconic singers on the stage. Never thought I'd see that. So I had to react to it. I just waited for the right time. But it was really fun. It was really interesting. Like I said, it looks like Pavarotti was on that stool. So I wonder if he was near the end of his career at this point. He didn't have the energy to, but you know, his voice was still so powerful. And what's interesting with him, when you see him sing, you see his mouth like this. Because there's all this underneath. Now, Pavarotti had, you know, obviously great technique as an opera singer, but he just had that face. He had that broad face that brought in all this rich, creamy tone, and can just use all that legato. So he doesn't have to work as hard because of everything's down below from the strength. And then, of course, James Brown, listening to his tone, he was probably could have been an operatic tenor too. He also had that rounder face, lots of great tone, and nice ring. Ring came out. Now, of course, he came from a different tradition of the earlier rock music back in those days, and with the wow scratches and the back phrasing. But you know what? It worked. It kind of reminds me of salt, like a salt and sweet tart. So we got kind of two flavors that actually seems opposite, but they kind of complement each other. So that's what I got in this performance. And looking at that huge outdoor auditorium right now here in the middle of the whole COVID thing, it just kind of makes me sad, because being in a concert venue like that with all those people, all that great energy, it's magical. It's magical. It's magical for the audience, and it's magical for the performers, because all this amazing energy is in the air, especially outdoors, but any concert venue. And so you get this just, you can't sleep. I've gone to concerts and performances and I go home and I can't sleep. I'm so pumped and I'm so vibed. And it's not just the performance, but with everybody sharing, that sharing energy is huge. And so it's kind of sad. I kind of miss that. I know it's going to come back, but being in those concert venues with all these performers giving their all and sharing this beautiful gift of music, it's almost spiritual. It's almost like going to church, meaning you're going to get this huge influx of feelings and emotions and sharing, because that's what great art is. Great art inspires you to live your life or see a different perspective. It's not just entertainment. It's about community and allowing ourselves to have a new perspective. And that's what art does, which is why this was so interesting for me to see, is these two iconic artists, totally opposite in so many ways, come together. And then you see the similarities, because seeing them stand next to each other, you know, they both had these great, powerful tenors. They just used it in different ways. So that's the thing, is how you train can help you go in different directions depending on your influences. All right, if you guys love James Brown or Pavarotti, make sure you subscribe and click on the bell, and let me know if there's any other opera. Pavarotti is operatic prime would be awesome, or anything with James Brown, because I know he was also an iconic artist as well. So please let me know in the comments below. And I also want to let you know that I am still teaching with the COVID shutdown. I've actually been teaching online since 2011. So that's when my YouTube channel started taking off, and I started working with clients back then online, although I've been teaching much longer. So if you're interested in lessons, you can go to my website at vocalsplendor.com. And I wanted to let you know of my two passion projects that I have on Facebook. The first one's called Creative Soul Alignment, and that's a wonderful group of people that are interested in the creative arts and spirituality. It's kind of like just what I was talking about today. And that's because when we are creators, we are experiencing the divine, especially when we share it with others. And that group has got all kinds of people, from singers, songwriters, crafters, sound healers, painters, photographers, you name it. It's a wonderful group, and I have people from all over the world now from my YouTube channel, which is really awesome. And then my other group is called YouTube Success Strategies, and that's a group where I'm teaching people how to succeed on YouTube. And I actually offer trainings about every 4 to 6 weeks to help you succeed with your YouTube channel. So I'm excited to help people and share what I learned for 10 years on YouTube to help them be more successful on their YouTube channel. So, all right, you guys, let me know. And all the information below on those groups is in the description. And take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.